It's tranquil and serene, a barn set against a backdrop of evergreen trees. Not what first comes to mind when one thinks music studio, especially a studio that's played host to some of the biggest artists in the world.
Clapton and Lionel Ritchie were out here for Dancing on the Ceiling. Soundgarden has been out here. Foo Fighters recorded the beginnings of Color and the Shape, that record out here. And then more recently, Brandi Carlile made a couple records out here. And then the Lumineers record was also done here. And Vance Joy, and up until really recently, Bryan's.
Bear Creek Studio sits on 10 lush acres in Woodinville. Producers Joe and Manny Hadlock purchased the property back in the 70s, turning an old dairy barn into what has become a one-of-a-kind musical retreat.
It doesn't really feel like we're part of a big machine out here. It still feels like a family-run place, and so it feels comfortable without any pretension or stress. And you're just kind of camping out with your friends when you're out here, and you can't do that in a big studio in New York or LA,
Now Joe and Manny's son, producer Ryan Hadlock, owns Bear Creek Studio. And while he works with a lot of big names, this is a welcoming space for local artists as well.
Honestly, we don't really turn anyone away. If somebody wants to come in and experience this, and if it's music we want to be involved with, we're here. We don't really say no to anything that just seems like a fun project to work on.
Today we're hanging out in the studio with chief engineer Taylor Carroll, who's in the midst of producing an album for ultra-talented local artist Charles Wicklander.
Charles and I go way back. He's an expert session player and great songwriter in his own right, and just a really good friend.
Currently with my solo record, it's classic rock meets indie rock with a little bit of psychedelic flavor in there. So today, I'm going to knock out some lead guitar overdubs, some piano overdubs, some vocals. I'm getting pretty close on this record that I'm working on, but it's just kind of putting those finishing touches on the little extra things that just make it super magical.
How does it make you feel as you're kind of putting this together and you're getting toward the finish line?
Helping an artist realize their vision, seeing them feel satisfied, it's more rewarding than anything else in music to me, to know that you really got there.
Now, if ever an artist needs a break, they can just step outside to take in a little fresh air, or maybe climb a tree.
So Taylor, where are we?
This is Bear Creek's treehouse, which most studios don't get to say they have a treehouse, but that's another thing that makes Bear Creek pretty unique. It was built for an episode of the Treehouse Masters show that was on Animal Planet. It's an amazing little Studio B. There's even a couple little beds up there.
So it's a B recording studio and a crash pad.
Essentially, yeah. And if nothing else, if you just want to feel inspired and come up here with a guitar, you can write a song up here and just look out the windows.
Yes, there's something special about this place. It feels almost frozen in time. A laid-back escape for creating music magic.
I want to continue that feeling of just everybody being friendly and also supportive of each other and bringing out the best in one another while we're here enjoying, especially on a beautiful day like today, like you're enjoying a little resort spot out in the woods.